Morning, everyone. Welcome back to Griffin. Lovely, albeit a bit chilly morning. I was just checking our cows. They've got plenty of food, a modest amount of water. We might put a little more in there afterwards. There's 36 of them now, but certainly plenty of hay there for them to munch on. Looking at the bank account, things are looking a little bit strained. 2,604. So we've loaded up a bunch of our hay bales on here. If we come across to the silo, you'll see we've got 360,000 litres of hay in there and almost 48,000 litres of silage. So we've got plenty of hay to feed the cattle and the milk cows for the foreseeable future. So really, these hay bales are just some cash that we could generate easily. And so I'm thinking the first thing to do is see how much they're worth. If we look at the weather forecast today, we're still in February, the second half of February, obviously. It'll be fine like this, albeit chilly, until about 11 o'clock. And then it looks like we're going to get snow for pretty much the rest of the day. So I'm not sure what work we'll be able to do, but the first order of business is to get down and sell these bales. And whoops, will work better if we're connected to the trailer, and then just see where that leaves us. And milk cows are coming along. The other thing we need to do today, and we might pick that up while we're down there if we've got enough cash, is we need a shredder for the straw so that we can put some bedding in the shed there. So I'm hoping there's something cheap that we can get cheaply available down at the shop or the dealership. Being February, there's no contracts available, so that doesn't help us out, although they might start to come back next month, though, in the next game day. So if we run out of meaningful activities to do today just because we're short of cash, we could always jump forward to the next day or just call it a short one and take the afternoon off. We'll just see how we go. But for the moment, it's just a brisk morning to duck down to the animal dealers here. No train, which is good. Just back in here, hopefully. We're just on the edge of the sell point by the looks. See if we can get that alignment a little better. would appear I've managed to go all the way around it. That's better. Okay, so that was about 14,000, which was better than nothing, up to 16,600. So all being well, that should be enough to purchase a bale shredder. So let's pop over here. There's the train. Really should give way at the crossing. Come on, champ. Let's see what we can do here. Let's have a look at straw blowers. I think we're going to find them in animals. Bale shredders. So right off the top, that one there. 30,000 is more than we've got, although we could lease it if necessary. What else have we got? This is going the wrong direction. 37,000. 29,000. These look better, but I don't know. I'm not familiar with them. They take straw. I don't know if they cut straw is the only question. These are exactly, so these are potentially a better price at 14.5. Ooh, these look promising. Let's see, 2,800. Okay, so these are the sort of devices we want. The question is, what do they connect to? So you look like hydraulic hoses. Interesting. How does one tell? Oh, front loader. Right. So that's going to be front loader, either wheel loader or skid steer and telehandler. Okay, that's the designation. Now, having thought about that, so we want a front loader model at $2,800. I think that's 90 horsepower. That's exactly the device that we're looking for. So we can get it in its standard colors. It'll stand out. We'll get it with hydraulic hoses. We'll purchase that. And we'll get the shop tool here to pop it on the trailer for us. With any luck, we should be able to pick you up if we've done the right thing and read it correctly, which here we have. Okay, so that should do the the job quite nicely. Excellent. There we go. Turn the engine off. Now we jump. So 13,000 should be enough to see us through. So we'll head back to the farm and see if we can get some straw in that shed. I don't know if you noticed as I was coming up here the other day, I had a really strange reaction. It sort of appeared like I hit a bump in an otherwise smooth section of road just around here. Just around about here somewhere. Since then I've raised the tow height of this trailer and it seems to be handling a lot better, so there must be a collision that extends under the trailer because it is a nurse trailer and there is a box there, but also a bit of a rough section of road back there, so we've had some success sorting that out. Let's grab the front end loader here. If we can get you attached. Now, how does the question is, how do we actually load this? I'm guessing the bale goes in the top. So maybe let's pop it down. We might have to learn about this one as we go. I don't think it'll eat it that way. Does it have to unfold? No. Turn it on. Let's try our help menu here. Okay, so Control I turns it on. Okay, so we need to put a bale in the top. That's a little bit awkward. Oh no, maybe not. Maybe it will. Let's see if I've got any other directions here. I can wiggle it around. I think I've got to put a bale in the top of it. you down for a sec. So if we pick you up, a little bit awkward. Let's see, can we get you? Not catch on the side. Would appear not. What about if we come from the end? Drop you in like so. Oh, come on. Do you think I can get that bale spike out of there? Oh, seriously. Let's see. That definitely is the other side. Okay. So if we get it in about the right spot, it kind of works. Tricky bit is how do you get the bale on there in the first place, but that appears to be, doesn't look the neatest, but it is doing the job. And if we had another vehicle that we could put the bale spike on, we'd be in good shape. It's also quite slow, but we can. The main thing is we are getting some straw in the husbandry, so now our calves will have some proper bedding, which is good. I don't know how much it holds. Let's have a look here. These are our Holsteins. Health is good on the hay, so that's fine. The straw is what it looks like. So it's probably 2 bales, maybe 3. Obviously, we've got no milk at the moment because we're only feeding them hay. But we'll wait till they get a little bit older before we worry about TMR. So let's put you down. And let's try and put another one up there. Let's see if we can maneuver this a little more cleverly than we managed before. So certainly coming from the end helped. Better. What's on? Based on the experience last time. If you've used these before and you think that I'm making a real meal of it, there's every chance you're correct. I have not seen these particular devices used in game, so it feels like you should be able to drive up to it and break it up, or you open the chute there, but I can't seem to find a key that would enable us to do that. We're going for capacity. So one more will do the job. So there's no apparent command to open this device up. Okay, we'll continue to use it that way. Why did that not detach? There we go. Now it won't let me put it down. There we go. That's interesting. So there is an adapter on it. Ah, okay. So there is a little adapter with some bale spikes. I did not know that was there. That presumably is designed to make it a little easier. Well, we learned something. And then I assume with that adapter, we can pick it up from whatever side we want. What is tricky is getting this adapter back on the device. Right, well, we've learned a few things. It took us a little bit longer than we expected, but it was cheap. So we've got a machine that's given us all the straw we need in there for the moment. We'll just let that, I presume it'll stop when it's full. There we go. We'll just put you under the cover here. It'll do for the moment. Where are we? We want. Getting the right device to disconnect was the tricky part. We'll put that at the straw bale just under the cover out of the weather, just in case we do get snow shortly. There we go. So given that we limed the fields last time, there's a few things that I've been thinking through. We obviously generated a little bit of cash, but until we get the fermenting silo and running, which will be next month with any luck, and then some time to process, we definitely need to get grass off that east meadow to put in the fermenting silo, and based on last time, I would hope we'll get a couple of 100,000 litres, which let's just work on the principle we get 200,000 litres of silage in the end, which wouldn't be unreasonable given our experience on this side of the field. So 200,000 litres of silage is going to give us about 60,000 in cash. So that'll fund us through to harvest time, and hopefully, if things go really well, we'll get another cut in 3 months' time. So then the question is crops. What do we do for crops? Now, the plan that I was working towards was to put corn in the field where we had corn before. We know that that field generates about 100,000 for us. But then I was looking at the crop calendar and thinking, well, we've got our wheat. Now, our wheat is going to be ready to harvest sometime in June, July at the latest. That means we're going to have to get the harvester for that. And then if we're going to have to hang on to it until the corn harvest. So there's a couple of months of leasing costs for the harvester, because we're certainly not going to be able to afford to buy one. So that's sort of 3,000 or 4,000 a month for each extra month, plus the cost of the different header And I started to think that rather than necessarily putting corn in, maybe what we should be planting is a crop to keep our equipment costs down. And so if we look at the next couple of months, potentially oats, sunflowers maybe, soybeans even, or sorghum. And so it's like, well, okay, so we've got some choices, but then if you look at the same problem, we don't want to be hanging on for the harvester for so long. So perhaps what we should be aiming for is oats or sorghum, with really a preference on oats, because as long as we're organised, we should be able to get oats and wheat harvested pretty swiftly. So I'm thinking that might be the go. So that'll mean we'll have that large field of wheat, potentially another one at the cornfield with oats. And if we look at value, not taking into account necessarily the straight yield, we're new at this, so we'll have to experiment. But if we look at crop values, oats range sort of from 800 to 1100 per 1,000 litres. A better value than sorghum, which tends to suggest sorghum might yield better. Obviously, soybeans are really profitable, but we'd have to wait longer to harvest them. So I'm thinking for this year, perhaps we just go with the oats and see what we learn. And when it comes to looking at our fields, if we then take a full grass cut next month off the East Meadow, then we can plough it. We can put some more oats, so basically seed oats in 35 and oats in the top here of the East Meadow, and then plant grass back in the bottom, so that when it does come to cut this again, we'll get the maximum yield off the grass, because at the moment we've just got meadow grass in there. And see how that experiment goes in terms of setting us up. And based on what we learned, we'll combine that. We know what the dollar yield was from field 35. So as long as we keep track of the crop yield with oats in there, we'll have a good comparison for how much we're able to generate from our land. So that's what I'm thinking. And that means we need some seed. We've got enough money at the minute, so we don't need... Oh, and here comes the snow. So we've got 2,500 litres of seed over here. If we have a look at our little tool, we can see that the cornfield, to put oats in there would use about the seed that we've got sitting here there. And if we were doing half the East Meadow, for argument's sake, that's going to be another couple of thousand, half of that. So really 2 bags. So I think to be safe, we need 2 more bags of seed for oats, and then grass is probably another bag. So if we got 4 bags of seed, I think that would be the ticket. But with this snow coming down, I don't see much point in running back into town. So I'm thinking we might call it an early finish just there. And I'll be back hopefully with the snow gone when we arrive in April, and we can get sorry, in March, and we've got a lot of work to do on that East Meadow. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. See ya.